What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Coach, you've got Hulk. 7-round mock draft, Steelers style, coming at you in your face. We're going to make the Steelers better today. What do you think about that, Coach?
I think that that's exactly what the plan is. We all know what the needs are. We're going to fill
We
them.
know what the needs are. We're going to, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and dive straight into this beast for everybody here. Go ahead, throw a subscription there on us. Give us a sub. Hit that notification bell. 500 subscribers. We're going to do a jersey giveaway. We're diving into this here. Let's see what we're looking at.
So Brian Thomas Jr. went at pick 15. And that's obviously the target. He's the fourth best receiver in this draft. Very much, I think, still a part of that upper tier. There's just a lot of other talent that's going to get taken before he gets taken. I think that him falling to 20 is exactly what we're looking for. Now, there are quite a few teams that want to trade up. Philly wants to trade up. Baltimore at 30 wants to trade up. Los Angeles wants to trade up. The Titans and the Colts. I think that we could see what Philly's willing to give us. I don't know. I think Philly's not going to be far enough. We could see if the Ravens are willing to give us a first and a second for just our pick right now. They're picking at 62, so it's a little bit late in the second, but I mean that's some value right there. We could also throw in 165 and they'll still take it. Maybe even 130.
All right. So who else is interested in a trade?
Other teams that are further back, like the Chargers are willing to give us a second round pick.
Okay. So Ravens and Eagles are the only ones still in the first willing to make a trade here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So pull up the board.
Honestly, if they give us 113 as well, that could be totally worth it.
Pull up. All right. So we're looking at... Let's see. They brought in Deshaun Elliott in the offseason. Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson's there. Joey Porter Jr. is going in year 2. Minka's still there. Don't know if Cooper DeJean would be the pick here. They do have the need of eventually on defensive line with Cam Hayward getting older and Larry Ogunjobi not being necessarily on the young side. Right now, I think I want to look. We've wide receiver and offensive tackle.
So Mims is still there. And Graham Barton just got taken a couple picks ago. So we're really being like pigeonholed into Mims. Jordan Morgan's a later.
That's my thing, is if we trade back, I think we miss out on A.D. Mitchell and probably Troy Franklin. So then by trading back, we're looking at needing to snag maybe Ladd McConkey and then Jordan Morgan or Tyler Guyton. So the way I see it right now, I think the best route would be to go ahead and either go with Mims or A.D. Mitchell. And between the two, the way the team is constructed right now, I just go ahead and take A.D. Mitchell right here at 20.
I agree. He's been getting a little bit of flack lately, and he's definitely not the same type of prospect that Brian Thomas Jr. is, but he does have the speed. He has the size.
It's the spot we're drafting him to.
6'4",
also,
196. Like
the Pittsburgh Steelers culture. Like they had Mike Wallace. They had 8. Like Antonio Brown. Like all these wide receivers that they have. Juju. Like when they leave, all of a sudden they just are a problem everywhere else they go. Maybe not necessarily Juju.
Yeah, but he's like the only one, honestly, of their.
But still, the culture in Pittsburgh, as well as the way they're able to just historically develop wide receivers over the last 15 years or so.
A.D. Mitchell is going to be phenomenal.
Just go ahead and
do
it.
It's a little bit early for him, but if we could have traded back 4 or 5, maybe jumped the Bills, I would have been all about it.
Now, right here. Let's see.
Tackle wise, we have only a couple that are falling in the range. We mentioned a little bit the defensive interior is a position. It's not like a huge, massive need for them because they have Hayward and Keanu Benton, but
Braden
Ogunjobi has
Fisk.
been so bad.
Braden Fisk just gives me like Steelers vibes.
He's very much the same type of player that Ogunjobi is, um, with like the size and like the weight behind him. His 2022 was so impressive too. 8 sacks. He had 6 sacks last year.
Ran a 4.740 in the combine at his size. Like
Yeah,
he's a
very
hell of an
athletic.
athlete.
Him and JJ and TJ Watt being on the same side of the field. I mean, that's gonna potentially lead
Now,
to
just for
headaches.
the sake of looking at everything, what's there at corner for us? Because we do know there is a drop off at corner.
TJ Tampa's still there. 6'2", 200, pretty prototypical size. Man coverage and zone coverage grades are very good. His only real knock is his run defense grade. Um, you know, not necessarily a pick master. Played most of his slots at the corner, so like he would be slotting up opposite of Joey Porter. I know that they brought in Dante Jackson, and this guy could end up
Yeah,
being a
so
little
I
bit.
don't know if they would go corner. I think maybe the pick here, I think for this spot where he's sitting, because he has dropped to us, I think the pick would be Braden Fisk. Like,
I like
I'm
it.
interested in TJ Tampa and Kamari Lassiter, even Andrew Phillips from Kentucky, like Brandon Dorless, like all these dudes we have right here are ballers. So it's more of just where do you think you're going to get the most impact from your guy? Now, I know corner is the more premium position between
Yeah.
the two that we're comparing right now.
I think what we try to do is maybe a little bit later, we try to get a project slot corner, someone that could potentially, in the next couple of years,
Hold
step
on.
in.
Pull up the trades.
Let's see. So they're wanting us to trade back to 65, 66, or
Who's
76.
the other offer?
65, 66, and 76. Those are the three.
Oh, 65, 66, 76. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not showing your pull down there on the screen.
Oh, I
All right,
gotcha.
so all right, so the Panthers are the earliest. So let's see what we can get for 65, and so they'll give us 65, 142, and 101.
And 141. We could get their next 4 picks for them to trade up to 51 here.
Yeah, I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, take out 141. Yeah, we'll leave 142. All right,
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
Because what the guys that we're looking at, I like to be able to snag multiple of them where more in their value range. All right, and pull up offensive tackle as well. Boom. All right, so we've got 65, 84, 98.
So we've got ourselves a slot corner here, and Andrew Phillips. He did play quite a bit outside, but 223
Grades aren't that great, but dude balled at the Senior Bowl. Like he absolutely held his own at the Senior Bowl as well. I'm higher on Kyrie Jackson, who is down there on the list a little bit. So where we pick next, I think we might be able to snag him. And so with that being the case, the way I would go here in order of the guys I like would be, I cannot pronounce the last name, but Kieran.
Kieran. Wow. He only played 4 games this year. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's why he's fallen down as well.
Into
But
the top of the third.
the way I would order my list right here would be Brandon Dorless, Blake Fisher, Kyrie Jackson.
So Brandon Dorless off the charts as far as the grades go. 6'3", 290.
He is an athlete.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were saying Brandon Fisk was going to give him. And to be able to get this guy and have all those other picks to just get more depth at positions of need, I honestly, I want to see what's there at wide receiver too. Yeah, we still have these guys that we could potentially wait for.
At 101, I think that range will 101, 119, we'll be able to snag somebody.
Yeah. So I like Brandon Dorless.
Now, let's see. Look at let's see. So we pick again at 84. Okay. Yeah. Go Dorless. All right. Now pull up. So we win our defensive interior, pull offensive tackle back up.
And cornerbacks.
And corner.
And I also have wide receivers. Man, Jalen McMillan still being there is pretty interesting.
That is intriguing. Let's see. All right.
Renardo Green, someone that we've looked at quite a few times.
The run on tackles happened. I didn't expect Blake Fisher to be gone. Kyrie Jackson, damn it, went one pick before here.
Yeah, that would have been a great one.
All right, so we pick again at 101 and 119. I think we can wait on corner, offensive tackle. Pull up the profile on Dominic Pooney for the people real quick.
Grading off the charts, 6'5", 320. Availability is the best ability. The guy's played every single snap.
And yeah, I think that's the pick right here. Because there's been a slight run on tackles, and from this point, there is a drop-off. Now you can scroll down and see what other tackles are there for us at our later picks.
Just tackles.
Yeah, I like Walter Roos. I like Javon Foster. They're okay. I like Matt Goncalves is solid, but for me, I think. And that's the thing too, is Dominic Pooney is a reach at this spot. So pull wide receiver and corner back up for us.
Yeah, I feel like
okay.
I know that we've been pretty high on Javon Baker too, and he looks a lot better on the grade side. He didn't have anybody else to compete with, though.
He's a different profile and different type of wide receiver than what we got with A.D. Mitchell in the first round as well.
Yeah. Jalen McMillan, though, man, I think this guy's going to be a great slot receiver, which is exactly what we need from him.
Yeah, Pickens and then A.D. Mitchell on the outside, and then you've got either Javon Baker or McMillan working the slot, which I think McMillan and Malik Washington would be the better slot receivers.
Yeah, I mean, Malik Washington looks... I mean, this guy was as absolute electricity. He's played well against a lot of top-tier talent as well. I might like this guy more. We definitely need to take one of these three if we're going to take one, because 98, they're not going to be here. All three of these guys are going to be gone.
And see, well, that's my worry too, is the run on corners that can possibly happen. Jerry and Jones will be there for us.
And that's who we like more.
We do like Jerry. All right. So
you choose. These three receivers, which one are you taking?
Between those three, I'm going Javon Baker. I think he's just the better overall wide receiver between the three. I think Malik Washington, just building a basketball team style-wise, would probably fit in better. But you're at this point with a team like this, and you're trying to build young playmakers, you just get what you can.
So Jerry and Jones, and then Dominic Pooney. There's only two people picking in between us.
For the grading purposes, because I think he'll still be there for us, I say go Dominic Pooney and then Jerry and Jones, so PFF doesn't screw us with our grade.
Okay. And
And then boom, Jerry and Jones would have went. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it would have.
Well, now hold on.
I already, yeah. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I was gonna say Jarvis Brownlee Jr. would have been intriguing because he is more of that nickel corner, but nevertheless, we're okay. So as much as I love Braylon Allen, just because,
they don't
go running back.
I mean, they don't need it. Jalen Warren looks so good last year, and they still have Najee Harris. Same with Ben Sinnott. They really don't need him because of the Muth. Like, once the Muth gets loose, it's fucking over. They also took him in the second round just a couple years ago. I do think, though, that getting another defensive tackle like Tavondre Sweat, I love his game. 6'4", 362. Like, this guy is he's a wall. You're not getting through him. His run defense grade is off the charts. I know that it's not a massive need for them, but I think that we've already covered a lot of their needs in the wide receivers that we've taken, in the tackle that we've taken. Like, I think that this is the type of pick that could absolutely just add help to their rotation.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with it. I mean, I was looking up there at the center right there, Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. They did take an offensive lineman from Georgia and Broderick Jones last year, so there is the familiarity there. I mean, I know they do have Nate Herbig, and he's going into year 5, year 6 right now. He's not a bad center, so I don't know if they're necessarily looking to replace him.
Yeah, he only played games 4, 5, and 13 last year. I don't know if that was based off of injury or if he was just coming in like as a backup to whoever used to be there. But he does have very solid grades. He's an undrafted guy that was picked up in 2019.
Now, Sion Vaki is also intriguing to me. Scroll down there a little bit. Just to give them some depth there at safety I know they did bring in Deshaun Elliott on like a 1 or 2 year deal. Deshaun is great in the run game, and as a strong safety, you don't necessarily expect them to be elite in the pass game. But depth is always great at DB as well. So
if we're looking at the player
between
I think
the two,
Tavondre Sweat is better than Sion Vaki.
And Tavondre Sweat gives you the pure like nose tackle for your defense as well.
And they already have Keanu Benton, who they drafted last year in the second round, as their
you're not drafting Tavondre here to like replace Benton. You're drafting Tavondre here to help Benton.
Exactly. I think that's absolutely the best value we could get for them. I mean, Ben Sinnott's someone that we've been very, very, very high on. As far as just like a tight end goes, he's absolutely a phenomenal receiver. Him and Muth at the same time would be very intriguing. I just think Tavondre Sweat...
But they also took Darnell Washington last year as well. So
yeah. Tavondre Sweat's
Tavondre Sweat. Yeah, do it.
So we still have 3 more picks. At this point, it's kind of best player available. I was hoping Trevor Keegan would fall. We haven't really looked at interior yet. James Daniels isn't getting any younger and is like a potential, like this guy could take his spot or at least add some depth and help out a little bit. Their linebackers I don't want to touch. I don't want to
that's
Cole
where
Holcomb and Patrick Queen are just so good.
At this point in round 5, our thing is we're not looking at guys like these guys aren't going to come in and be expected starters, right?
No.
So the way I look at it is we're building out depth. And I know we've mentioned it multiple times, and Malik Mustafa and this Steelers defense with his mindset, I'm kind of looking at that. Like, I do like Trevor Keegan as far as giving your offensive line some depth as well. But my preferred pick in this spot would be Malik.
I mean, he definitely is that run stuffing, strong safety type. And whenever Deshaun Elliott eventually moves on, I mean, he's had 5 years of his career. He's been very, very solid every year, but he's never been like a Pro Bowl player.
Well, and like I said, once you hit round 4 and beyond, you're drafting for depth because these GMs and coaches never go into a season expecting all of their players to play every single game.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to have these guys that can step in.
I like him a lot. We've talked about him in multiple videos. I think that's what we pull the trigger on. We still have 2 more picks. They don't have any picks outside of 195. That's nuts that they don't even have to pick in like the 200s or the 220s.
Yep. Well, we've taken our corner. We've taken a tackle. We've taken a wide receiver.
We've taken 2 wide receivers.
They're telling us we still need a center.
Yeah, they want us to draft a center bad.
Which Dylan McMahon is what I'm keeping my eye on, but I know he is decently down the board. Yeah, he's right there. We'd have to trade back.
We could take him.
We can take him with 195. Yeah, just to make sure we get him there. So we've taken our safety. We've taken a corner. Pull up. Well, we've got the overall board here. Just so let's keep going down. You just stopped on him. I was literally about to say Josh Newton would be intriguing.
We've only taken 1 corner, right? It was kind of like a slot guy. This guy
took Jerry and Jones.
This guy could end up developing into a replacement for Dante Jackson. We've been super high on him. Availability is the best ability. He's available all the time. He had a
much better in man than he is in zone, but. Yes. I prefer my corners to be better in man anyways, because you don't want to get beat one-on-one.
I think that's a great pickup. It is a little bit early, not based off of ADP, but just based off of the ranking. I think that this is a bit of a steal for us. I think that we go Josh Newton.
Roll up on the list real quick.
Nope, too late.
Oh, too late. Never mind.
So
never mind. I got vetoed, everybody.
Last pick, interior offensive line. Dylan McMahon is there. We're gonna get a horrible grade based off of this.
Well, pull up edge.
Drake Nugent is there too. As far as edges go, Jalen Harrell's still available.
See, that's what I'm looking at is edge there to give you a rotational piece for TJ Watt and AJ Highsmith. Both of those guys, you expect one of them to miss a few games here and there. At this point with your last pick, get a playmaker like Harold. We're building depth here for the team.
Justin Ebogbe's there too. He's a little bit not quite as athletic. He's more of a defensive interior.
He's more of a he's more of a 3-5 technique style, whereas Jalen Harrell is more of like your stand-up edge style. So that's picking your flavor. My flavor here would be, I think maybe it would lean Justin Ebogie if we're looking at it that way, because I think he gives you more versatility down your line than Jalen Harrell will.
My big thing is taking offensive interior and taking like the centers that are there. The 5 offensive linemen are supposed to play every down on offense. Like outside of injury, they play all the time. Defensive linemen are part of the rotation. I much rather have a rotational guy, especially this late in the draft. So I think Justin Ebogie is definitely the pick. So that's where we're gonna go.
Yeah, you've got Jalen Harrell, Justin Ebogie, and Solomon Byrd, Jalen Green. All of these guys here, like they're all studs.
Super late too. Solomon Byrd is very athletic. But yeah, we're going to go Justin Ebogie. I know that he's kind of already like the defensive tackles that we've taken, but trading back and getting all these extra picks, adding more to this rotation, it's just going to give them more opportunity to potentially get another guy. Like that's what they need right now. They're Offense has obviously not been great, but they've got 2 new quarterbacks that are supposed to fix that. So Justin Ebogbe it is.
Supposed to.
Yeah, we'll see. I love Russ. Loved him whenever he was in Seattle. I think that he didn't get an opportunity to succeed in Denver. And Justin Fields, we know, has the worst opportunity to be a successful quarterback of anybody that's been drafted in the past 5 years. Like,
Well,
so
putting a bow on this,
they wanted us
Steelers
to draft
fans, Michael Penix. Steelers fans, if you're still here, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell for us. That way you get our episodes in the future. AD Mitchell, A-.
Before you say that, at 500 subscribers, we are going to give away a free jersey of your choice, anything on the NFL shop. So make sure to subscribe
your friend.
to enter in to your chance to win a free jersey.
We've got all these new fresh jerseys dropping with the Lions, the Jets, the Texans are on the way.
That was so dope. But yeah, A- for AD Mitchell. Brandon Dorless, they didn't like as much taking the defensive interior early like that. I don't see it as their biggest need. We should have drafted
Michael Penix Jr., but whatever.
Yeah, that's stupid. Javon Baker, they love, though. I think that those 2 players are going to make their receiving core a completely different thing. Like, it's a whole new monster.
It is. And then I love the prospect that we got with Dominic Pooney there for the offensive tackle. Like I said, I don't know if they're necessarily looking to bring in a replacement on the offensive tackle side immediately. We could have gone with one early, but, we need playmakers on this team.
Yes.
Jerrion Jones, Tavondre Sweat, Malik Mustafa, Josh Newton, and Justin E. All of those guys are just straight depth. None of those guys are coming in and outside of maybe Malik Mustafa pushing for immediate starting position. So for me, I love the depth we got for this team.
Absolutely.
And I think whenever you're in a miniature, not necessarily a rebuild, but a miniature rebuild, like I feel like they're still testing the waters, trying to figure out the quarterback situation. The best thing you can do is build your team out with young depth and just have it ready to go. So when you have the quarterback, you're hitting the ground running.
Well, join us on Thursday whenever we give our reaction to exactly who the Steelers do draft in the first round. Hopefully it's Brian Thomas Jr. and things don't fall as they fell today, because that, I think, would make this a 10 out of 10 draft. If instead of AD
I'm still
Mitchell,
not mad at the AD Mitchell pick.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it at all. I know there are some question marks. All of a sudden, his diabetes is becoming a question and things like that, which we've seen Mark Andrews and how he's been able to deal with it. Like, there are players in the league that, there's a precedence for how to deal with it. I'm not worried about it. I love the draft. Steelers fans, we know if you hate it, put it in the comments. Give us all of the hate. We love constructive criticism. You know your team better than we do. We love you guys. We appreciate you hanging out. Tell your friends, hit the subscribe. Peace out.